Hi everyone, welcome to our Volume 9 Theories discussion. This is an open chat with all the Wandering In readers about what we think is going to happen, specifically in Volume 9. And we're just going to kick it off. We're going to be moving fairly quickly, and we're going to sort of attempt to keep things cohesive by going by location. So we're starting in Israel with one comment on first POV. What is it going to be? We had somebody submit a comment before Pirate started the stream, so I'm going to read that one out loud. Otherwise, this question is off the table. The next question is going to be what everyone thinks Aaron's hat is going to be, so you can think about your theories on that while I read this. So on the first POV from Dynamic New Algorithms, we have first POV back. I feel like it has to be someone who was at the null moot at the end and is now at the inn, maybe Numtung. Although getting an Ishkur perspective of the inn coming back to life would be interesting and allow us to see snippets of all the reunions. Okay, so if anyone has thoughts on Aaron's hat, I have a few theories from people. I will start reading. The rest of you can theorize. You can also include in any of these theories what you think Aaron's going to do level-wise, which ideas, anything related to Aaron Solstice is a go. If she wants to talk.
Hi, everybody. Hi to new people. I want it to be something. I do not know if Pirate will go this direction, but I want it to be this. So, those Cat in the Hat rainbow hats that they sell at every Pride? I don't know if anybody's ever been this, but they have those, they look like those two thingies that Lincoln wore or whatever, but they're striped rainbow hats. I want that for
Multicolored.
Yeah, multicolored, stripes.
Run
Has a nice
me, Oshi.
What is wrong with that hat? That is so Aaron. For people, I will get a picture for those of you in the chat who have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
Okay, I like that one. We have a comment from Igneal posted before the chat. It says, Aaron doesn't wear a witch hat. Other witches get angry at her for it. I assume that means breaking tradition. I like that theory. That's hysterical. Mr. Wiggles?
Just my theory is more just to do with Erin and her witch class, but I also agree with Igneal's theory that it's partly because I want her just to, kind of break from the tradition that witches have, but I also just don't like cats very much. So I think it would be funny if Erin just doesn't wear a hat and just it's like, nah. But my theory is actually that Erin will do a lot of wondrous fare cooking this volume and actually learn how to incorporate it a lot more since she now has the witch brewing. So I think that kind of, it kind of goes together with wondrous fare very well. So this volume is ripe for.
Very much. It says the hat is the inn itself. Hat renovation inn. She's the chat in the hat. I bet she blows the inn up. I want to see her blow the inn up this time, not just like Torin do it or, a moth attack destroy it. I hope she does wondrous fare and it goes so wrong that the whole building explodes. That's my theory.
Wait, what does that have to do with her hat?
This is also general Aaron theory. It could be whatever.
Fine. Oh, if this is general Aaron theory, what do y'all think of the idea that Aaron will actually do something active? Meaning she'll actually go out and do something, right? We had a discussion last week with Willie where we were talking about crack theories, and he laughed down that idea so much. Do you think, guys, Aaron's gonna do some really cool shit early on, or is it gonna be one of those things where it's slow and stuff?
Let's see. I think if she can get the range up, she's gonna go visit in the Unseen Empire.
Why do you want that so much, Kylera? You've been talking about it for days.
I don't know if I want it. I think she'll do it though. This is what I think might happen this volume, right?
Yeah, but why that first off?
Oh, she's not super she's always worried about goblins. And
right.
She's not going to be super concerned about rags and everything, but are you kidding? The moment Halrak says Pebble Snatch is stuck up there in Laken's Empire, Aaron's going to go off on a crusade.
I would like to see Halric again.
It's close enough to be reached by the door. Pebble Snatch is there. Well, even if she doesn't know Pebble Snatch is there, she knows there are other goblins there, and Olvama could also tell her about Pebble Snatch.
Yeah, so I think it's a safe bet
And,
that,
witches.
yeah, I feel like it has to happen. She's going to the Unseen Empire. Erin is going on vacation.
I see. So the putrid one is why you want to see Lacan. I understand. Okay.
All right. Kel has a comment. There's so much Irish stuff with Erin that she should have an Irishy hat. And I'm just gonna catch up on comments really quickly. Petardier says, I was sort of hoping she'd lose her lower level classes during death, not gonna lie. Not sure how long it'll take to level up enough to consolidate. Yeah, she still has, what is it, Warrior and Singer, I think?
Yeah, and to answer your question, I think we got the answer. It's level 50, where she consolidates everything, guaranteed.
It is probably gonna. A lot of times people seem to consolidate when they pass those 10 level.
No. Remember, the Quaras? I can't figure out the quote. I can't remember the exact quote. But when she was explaining classes, she said that's the moment when she was examining Ghazi. Yeah.
So do you guys think she'll hit level 50? You can leave a comment below on your theory on that.
Oh, the Civ Seer is correcting me. It's level 60, not 50.
Okay.
My
Well,
apologies.
I would think she's probably not doing that this volume, but who knows? A person on Discord says controlled demolition in order to use Derevish's blueprints. Yeah, that's pretty much why I really want the end to blow up this volume. Petardier says active brewing of alcohol, unlikely. Actively chewing up Chaldean for sure. Yeah, she's not gonna be happy with him. I think in a follow-up to the discussion on rebuilding the inn, a person on Discord says she's going to delegate that task. Sivsari says Erin's hat should be dyed with the invisible squid ink. Yeah, then she can run around with a hat and no one will know she has it on. It's a good guess. Mr. Wiggles has a comment.
Just going back, well, I'll comment on two things, I guess. Going back to the whole Laken discussion, I just think narratively, it having more Laken and having more goblins this volume fits in very well. So I think it's a very, very likely that Aaron will connect, because back in volume 7 they were very, very close to connecting Aaron and Laken anyway. So now we had that like set up, and so this volume with Tamaroth being out in the void, not stuck on Laken like a little leech, he has a lot more freedom now, and so we can get back to like volume 6 where we had a lot of Laken point of views, and then it kind of stopped in volume 7, and it was almost completely absent in volume 8 because of Tamaroth's presence. So I think it just fits very well narratively to have Aaron going into and visiting River Farm. The other thing I wanted to comment on was her level 50 class. Like, I think it's pretty likely as well that Aaron will get to level 50 this volume, and at least some of her classes will consolidate. Maybe not her witch class just yet. Maybe that will come later on. But at least warrior and singer can just get out of there. They can just consolidate already, because she's had those classes since volume 1 and volume 2 basically, and they had some useful skills for her, but it hasn't been very relevant to her for a very long time. So just getting those consolidated once and for all would be great.
Yeah, okay, so Wiggles has a vote for class consolidation. That's one of his theories. I hope we lose maybe Singer at least. That could definitely consolidate with Witch. Igneal has a comment.
Hi. I just want to point it out. I just want to make a comment that the last thing Erin was gonna do right before she got shot by crossbows was that she was gonna go to the party. She just learned about the Goblin Lands at Laken's River Farm area. And that's what she was gonna do. So that's why I think that we'll see River Farm and Erin going to it some point in this volume, hopefully earlier. But yeah, that's it pretty much.
Okay, we have another comment from Sivsari. I think I said that right. Imani has a job at the Drunken Knoll. That's with innkeeper Timbor, so Aaron might need a new chef. So you think Imani's going to keep that job? Isn't going to come back? Follow-up thoughts?
I think so. I mean, Amani has moved on. A lot of the people have moved on. Why can't I speak? The issue for the first part of the volume has to be Aaron finding a way to reconnect with all these people who are now in entirely different positions. Because a lot of the people will not be coming back to the inn. Let's be real. Not the goblins aren't going to come back to the inn. The only ones who are actually going to stay around the inn likely is Pawn. Oh, maybe not even Pawn, because he has that whole the telepathic network shit. So, how many of the people do you honestly think will stick around, Aaron? She has to find a new cause, a new way to connect with everybody. And if it's something to do with her new powers or her new abilities, then she has to establish that, and that's what the first part's going to have to be about. And it's going to be tough because if Aaron has not changed because of the Deadlands, I will scream. But yeah.
Okay, what do you think though? What's your guess? Has Aaron changed, or is Aaron exactly the same as when she
I'm
died?
not allowed to speak on that because I saw the goddamn
All right, Kit has a comment. I agree that it's very likely the arc about Lakin could also tie into the Artifact Collector mini arc and the angry Village of the Dead half-elf who's poisoning random villages in North Israel. Yes, that is probably going to be covered this volume. There is a plague again. But Tardier has a comment. Imani should progress on her own path at this point. She got what she needed. An inn should never be a place you stay indefinitely unless you're family. Okay, so lots of people have theories that the inn is going to, like, a lot of people are going to be leaving, heading out on their own journey. And I think we'll get to any guesses you guys have on those people in a minute, because we are going to be wrapping up Erin, not because we don't love her, but because we have a lot to cover and we need to move on. We have one more comment on the Google Doc about Erin's hat possibilities. The hat is a small bonfire on her head that is vaguely hat-shaped and 3-scale. So lots of votes for Erin's hat having something to do with memory fire. Mr. Wiggles says he'd be pretty sad to see a lot of the old cast being absent from the inn. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard if that happens, and I do think it's probably a good theory, though. That is what Erin does a lot of, right? She fixes people and then sends them out. All right, we last thoughts on Erin in general, guys. Then we're gonna move on to the horns next. So line up your thoughts. I've got 2 comments on Erin in general from the Google Doc to read out. From Linu, Erin is going to visit Rear at some point, and we're going to have some way of connection between Tom the Clown, Erin the Goblin Friend, and Flora the Healing Bullets. Okay, so a vote for travel, but this time to Rear. She's going off the continent for the first time. From Igneel, we have a comment. Inn somehow gets destroyed again this chapter, this volume, which gives her the opportunity to construct the inn that the architect Drevish made a schematic or plans of, maybe through a quest usage for Hexel. Okay, so that's our first discussion of quests that we've talked about. Erin has a lot of possibilities for quests, and we're going to see if she uses them. I mean, she's definitely doing it this volume. Pirate dropped that at the end of last volume. It's happening. We're all very excited.
Wait, what's happening?
Erin's going to use quests this volume. It's a done deal.
Oh, yeah. I was like, did I miss it? No. Okay.
No,
good.
you're good. Erin has another Erin theory. Petardier says Erin needs oven mitts added to her war attire. Erin needs a lot of protective gear. If anybody has guesses on what she might get this volume, go ahead and put them
We'll
in
talk
the
about it
chat.
later. I'll collate them, Chimera, if you just want to move on.
Yeah, okay. Horns of Hammerod. I have some comments I will start reading while everyone thinks about their specific Horns of Hammerod theories. Put them in chat or leave a tag me if you want to talk. From Coldbringer, this is a possibly a Horns theory. The Heartflame gauntlets are on New Israel. This is what he thinks. He says he was the first to raise this theory. From Kit, the Horns are going to fight a kraken on land on New Israel after finding lots of dead krakens. From Tanaz, the Horns return to Chandrar to take care of Pisces and Kissimver's unfinished business. They go with the strategist students, returning the diamond swords of Serept to Kelt, and Garia and Tuma the Great are introduced to Pomley by Pecky. From McNeil, Saria doesn't tell her team about the circlet, and it raises problems later. She starts making decisions she wouldn't normally make, and it leads to infighting and arguments. Yeah, I think we have a couple good theories there. Kel says, I will always grieve for the Keltian Vault artifact dress-up montage that might have been. Yeah. Well, do you think it'll happen this volume?
It should. Hilera, I'm telling you, if we're getting a Beach Day episode, as was promised,
Wait, what?
we need a dress up. Pirate promised a Beach Day episode in Acid Spoilers or wherever the fuck it was.
Oh, so we have to travel.
Yeah, or not. You know, we don't know. I mean, they could end up on a lake somewhere. Who knows?
It could end up on the
There's
lake
a lot
in
more
Liscor.
beach in Israel now.
Yeah, there is a lot more.
God. Okay. Mr. Wiggles, you have a comment.
My theory for the Horns is that, a lot of them let quite a bit going on in Chandra, and I could see the possibility of them going back this volume, but overall, I think it's much less likely. Like, they're going to spend, well, I'll just say, my theory is they're going to spend all their time in Israel going and doing quests basically for Aaron. So, like, they're going to do whatever big quests she can come up with while they're in Israel. And I mostly think that simply because of like story reasons. Like, I don't think it would make too much sense for Pirate to have the Horns come back to Israel from Chandra and then immediately head back there. It just wouldn't make much sense to me. So I think Chandra is going to maybe even take a bit of a back burner this volume, and we'll come back to it next volume and see the chain. We'll see. I'm blanking on her name. Myrrh, the Storm, and the rest of the slaves that Pisces or rebels that Pisces left behind, and what's her name? The Beast Empress.
Nasia?
Oh, yes, Nistia. Jim
We're getting an echo from someone.
Yeah,
They just
it was
got it.
Jim.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So,
You only have to
yeah.
mute your. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll tell him.
So you don't. Dang. So Nissia will we'll see her next volume too. So basically, my theory is Chandra isn't going to be a big central plot this volume, and the Horns will stick around in Israel and do things in Israel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of continents and places in the story right now. Something is probably going to be cut from Volume 9. Petardia has a comment on the Horns. He says they might get their own super special skill overlap like the Gnolls and Earthers got during Null Moon. Yeah, we've seen that once before, right? A combo skill at the soccer game? Football? Whatever. So, I think that's a possibility when people work really well in unison. That can happen.
Can I read Kim's comment? Because I have something to say about that.
Sure, Oshi.
Alright. If Tull finally shows up, the Horns might feel like it's their duty to clean up his mess. Okay, about the Tull thing. Now that Erin is coming back from the Deadlands, she literally met a whole buttload of necromancers, alchemists, and all those people who might just have a solution to the problem that Tull causes. So, bets on if Erin is the solution to all of the mess that Tolv is going to make?
Yeah, if anyone has thoughts on that, go ahead. Tolv is the Putrid One's half-elf servant, in case people did not know.
Worshipper, apprentice, really hot undead vampire dude, whatever you like to call him.
Right. that. Okay, so Lynette has a comment. I agree that Saria is also going to want to stay in Israel. The farther she is from Chandra, the harder anyone else who wants that circlet will have to work to get from her. Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting because I think the Horns are going to have to fight to keep their artifacts this volume, or give some of them up, because the deal with the Village of the Dead was that they only got to keep one, and we're going to see that play out this volume. Something is going to go down in relation to all the artifacts. Petardier says Aaron is not the solution. Absolutely not. I think. Or it's sarcasm, and she is.
Technically, wait. Technically, about the things, Kylera, don't they only have one artifact?
No, the book counts. The relics, I think. So they've got the circlet. They've got
Uh-huh.
the book is going to count for sure.
Oh, you're right. The
And
book.
the rings, it probably depends. And they technically owned the sword for a hot second, so we'll see.
Oh, you're right. Everyone's gonna. But to be,
Yeah, so they technically
yeah, it's
only.
complicated, isn't it?
It's complicated, but so I think it's going to play out because adventurers are obviously not just going to say, sure, keep all of them. People.
But here's the thing.
I can
They
see.
didn't.
I'm
What?
going to interrupt you, Oshi.
Go ahead.
I can see Saria with the circlet basically floating the idea that they just don't tell people that they got these things from the putrid one because nobody saw them.
Well, but
And
she said.
they showed up on Chandrar, and that's the first place that, maybe they just found them on Chandrar somewhere.
I was gonna float the idea that, technically speaking, they only agreed to give up all claims if they got the heart flame thingamabobber.
Yeah, that is true. It'll be interesting, like I said, because she did, when she messaged Halrak, she said they got multiple relics. And
Yeah.
he said that he was working on keeping the helm for them. So we'll see.
And if they failed and the helm is not in their possession, then that means those motherfuckers have no claim on anything the folks got out of there.
Okay, so Oshi is voting for exploiting a loophole to keep everything.
I mean, adventure. I mean,
Yeah.
you make it sound so sinister.
I support this. Pisces is on board. Mr. Wiggles says, oh yeah, forgot about Tolv for a second. That'll be the big quest the Horns do in this volume, dealing with him. He'll be coming for them now that they're back in Israel. Petardier says, I think if anything, she's going to cause a lot more angst. What? Oh, when he finds out that that the Putrid One sacrificed himself for Aaron. Yeah, he will not be happy about that, since it turns out the Putrid One wasn't completely dead. If he finds out. She does not have to. She's the only one that knows. She can keep that to herself. Dragono says they probably lacked the levels to deal with him, and they lost the Holy Sword. Yeah, Tolv is going to be one of the big bads, but we'll have to see what he does. Sounds like people think we're looking at a face-off this volume. Lynette said, and she said multiple relics on purpose. She was wearing the circlet when she said it. Yeah, it was calculated. Das says, or did Tolv start to chase them after the teleport? He let them go because he fit. Was it the circlet?
We don't actually know what he's doing.
I think it was the circlet that he thought it was hysterical that they'd stolen it.
Yeah, I still don't quite understand.
Not a good thing.
Yeah.
It's probably bad if the evil guy is happy that you stole the powerful object.
Well, no, he said it was funny, not that it was like he found it amusing.
And he's evil.
Okay, let us be careful about labeling people evil, because last time we did that, we ended up with Askarash. So
fine, Gray at the very least, morally gray.
Gray, I'll accept Gray. I also need him not to be evil, otherwise I can't make fan art.
Kel says Pisces could technically say that the book was salvage rights after they killed Iggy. Dragono says Saria is still Saria. The circlet can only do so much. Yeah, she's similar. What do you guys think? Give me bets on, is she getting worse? Is she gonna, what's she doing this volume? Petardier says she can keep that to herself. We're talking about the same Aaron here. Yeah, okay, that's in relation to my previous comment. Yeah, Aaron is learning. A person on Discord says, hopefully next snap works well on Tolf. Okay, so we have a vote for Pisces being the one to kill Putrid One servant.
Okay, snap poll. Respond with a Y or an N. Is she worse or still herself? Anyone who votes W, you are banned from the server.
That's on whether Sari is affected by the circlet. Go ahead, place your votes. I'll come back to that in a second. Kit has a comment.
I wanted to get back to the Flame Gauntlets comment that Coldbringer made. So I think that is going to be the biggest challenge this volume for the Horns, because Celis got like a poem or something right after the fight with the Village of the Dead. So I think that's gonna be like the big thing. And last volume we had the Kraken's Pass rise up. So it's it's being set up for something like that, and I think that will be the big Horns challenge.
Okay. So we all are in agreement that the Horns are doing something this volume, and I vote. I like that. I love the Horns. We're going to move on to our other adventuring teams, the Half Seekers and Griffin Hunt. So if you guys have guesses on what they'll be doing this volume, go ahead and write those down. I'm going to catch up on Horns comments. A person on Discord clarifies that they didn't say Pisces would kill Tolv, just that hopefully next snap works. And Dragono would like to clarify that he's not sure Sari will become evil. It's her becoming a genius that he doubts. I think that's on Saria.
Okay, that was funny.
All right. Kel has our first Griffin Hunt comment. So I just want Halrak to come back to hug Aaron like Aaron hugged Ryoka after the raid on Selim. Yeah, Aaron needs a hug. For sure. Being dead has to suck.
I'm deadass gonna say this right now. If we do not see this volume be more based around the adventures, I will be super disappointed. And I mean all the adventures. I appreciated all the armies and shit. I want to delve, I want to explore, and I want to find out how kissy, what's the name of the half seekers?
Jelliqua?
Leader Jalakwa is getting with Malfin. Like, I want to see stuff. More interpersonals. Also, I want Halric to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Or a they friend.
Oshi is voting for more romance this volume.
Or just some romance. Come on. Give me something.
Alright, from Jamaro we have Seaborn finds a god to believe in, and it's one of the shades, the lesser gods. And Petardier, I'm not sure if I'm mispronouncing that, please correct me. Halrak finds new love and it's good and nothing tragic happens at all. Stop, Pirate Abba, stop. Cosmic Chaos says,
Okay.
I want to see the Half Seekers find more party members following their half theme, so someone interesting. Okay, this is good. We're gonna get new adventures this volume. I like this guess. What about dungeon? Do you guys think dungeon in Lascore? Do you guys think we're going to go find a new dungeon? Because Aaron has that map from the gnomes. Where are we going adventuring? The new lands of Israel?
Okay, question then about that. So, assuming the dungeon isn't like the focus for whatever fucking reason Pirate comes up with, do you think Aaron will like pick and choose who goes where? Okay, I'm not saying this properly. Pick and choose, like, will she be the one who picks which adventuring group gets to do which quest? Or do you think like the quests will like be open to everybody and anybody could do it?
Okay, so quest theories, guys. I feel like her picking outright all of the time is sometimes dangerous. Like if they're like, I mean, I know we talk about this all the time. Aaron should face the consequences of her own actions. But obviously, if she sends people to somewhere and they all get slaughtered, that's going to be really hard on Aaron.
That's like part of her change. Like that's what I mean by maybe she can be active this way. Maybe she posts quests and then she gives like extra details to this group because it's her quote unquote group. Do you think she's gonna like nudge things? Is what I'm thinking about.
don't know.
It's a rough question, and I've been thinking about it for weeks. I can't answer it. I was hoping one of you could.
I don't know if she's gonna well, she might design
Well,
quests for people that she knows will benefit them. Because why wouldn't you, right? Like, I have something
yeah,
that's
that's.
perfect for you. Go get the free stuff. Here you go.
Oh, do you think it's gonna be free stuff? Like she can just make it so that anyone can get the stuff for free?
Well, I mean, if you have knowledge of secret treasure troves, it's free, right? Like,
Is it? I mean, it's treasure troves inside of inevitable challenges, right? I hope so, because then it'll be boring.
all right, I'm gonna catch up on comments. If you guys have quest thoughts, either tag me so you want to talk, because you are allowed to talk, guys, or just put it in the recorded chat. Kel has a comment. Rasktooth and Infinity Pair could join the Half Seekers. That would be great. I like that thought, Kel. And
It's not just a thought; it's also mean because he's half cut.
yeah, okay, but it's fine. They could go dungeon diving and find a regeneration potion. Cosmic Chaos says maybe even a Pista since she's only half B right now. Yeah. All right. Now we're being mean. Okay. Gray has a comment. What? It's it's purple, so that implies it's organizational and probably open to everyone. Okay, I think this is in relation to the color of the quest text.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's
Can I ask something, Kyler? Are you sure it's purple? Everyone says it's purple. I see it as like pink.
it looks purple on my screen, but not as purple as like royal text, if that makes sense. Like I've had a couple
Okay.
royal skills that are like really purple, and it looks more like mauve. I don't know.
It looks mauve. Yes, thank you. Other people were like, no, it's just purple. What is mauve? I spent an entire afternoon arguing about that color piece with people.
Well, I didn't see that, so that's just my uninfluenced opinion.
Of course you did, Oshi.
What? It's important. The pirate color code stuff.
All right, Petardier has a comment. They're gonna talk.
Yeah, so just about the quest in general, I think it's probably going to be one of those things where multiple people can't take the same quest once she doles it out unless they fail it spectacularly or give it up. I assume it's not going to be universally accessible.
So you're saying that once a quest is accepted, there'll be a limit to how many people can accept the quest?
Something like that. Just to keep it from being like making more sought after at the same time. Not everyone going at it at once and just being like ultimately just chaotic, because that's a lot of people diving into one area.
Do you think there might be safeguards or guardrails that prevent people from accepting the quest if they can't meet the challenge?
I think that's up to Erin, honestly. And I think that's going to be the toughest part because she'll have to convince herself that it is safe enough for them to embark on, and she has enough information about where it is, but I don't think she understands enough about what that entails to make that call. So it's going to be tough for her initially to probably even give people those quests, and they're going to beg her for it because it's going to give them the chance to get much stronger, much quicker because of the level of the threat.
Okay. And you're saying that Aaron is the one who will have to take on the social cost of sending people to their deaths?
Yes, and I think that's going to be interesting to see because that should help her grow it a bit in this regard.
Oh wow, what do you think, Hilera?
I think it would be interesting to have quests essentially put on pause until somebody either fails or succeeds. Especially with higher level quests, I feel like that makes sense. With like basic quests or whatever the lowest level one is, I guess it depends. I mean, I have no idea how it's going to be handled. In video
Well, I
games,
was
you can
thinking
have
more
a
about
million people kill rats and it's fine, but
the emotion, like what he said about what Petardier said about the cost to Aaron socially and emotionally and mentally for handing out these like legendary quests that everyone's going to chase after, and that in return for chasing after, they might, plenty of them will die on the way
yeah,
before anyone completes them.
the emotional cost is going to be really high, and I mean, everyone is going to be lining, like, the moment it's like, oh yeah, Aaron knows where certain places are, she's going to be bombarded by people who want to take on things that are far above their skill level. It's inevitable,
I
right?
wonder.
I mean, you know where a legendary tomb is or something, like everyone shows up at your door, but most of them would die. And some of them are
Even the people you send off, right? They might die too.
Yep, I think there's a good chance quite a few people are going to die in figuring out how this whole quest system works. All right, we have some other people with thoughts on this. Ranaris?
Hey everyone. Joined a bit late, but I guess my thoughts on the quests are I don't think there will be a limit to how many people can attempt it. I mean, maybe because like the thing is like you may not be on the quest, but that doesn't mean you can't go and try and find this thing, right? I don't think the quest in and of itself will block you from like accessing the places you need to go, right? So like maybe the person's not officially on the quest, but they'll like even if you're not on the quest, you're still gonna want to try and get this because you know the city in and of itself is gonna have, or you know where the quest maybe like will have the rewards you want, right? If it's a secret ancient tomb, well, people are gonna try and do that anyway, quest or no quest.
Right.
So.
You're saying once the knowledge is out there, doesn't matter. Yeah, Erin, if she does a quest board or however she does it, might have to keep things behind locked doors and only let people know occasionally. We'll have to see how she handles that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see with that.
Yeah, because it could be, like you said, a gold rush type situation. Rosie, you have a comment.
I'm actually perfectly picking off Renoris because that's kind of the same thing I was thinking. Is the better question of it all is whether Aaron can prevent people from taking the quest, whether, you know, that quest knowledge, whether it puts some kind of block in place if someone accepts it. So if someone says, oh, I'm going to go conquer the dungeon, and they have, I don't know, do they have a time limit? Does the quest remain active until they die? Can no one else take it? Can other people still go into the dungeon? Or is there some kind of block, like either mentally or otherwise within the system? And I also think I'll be curious to see how Erin handles the information getting out. We still don't know yet if she's the only one who can make quests, I don't think. And if she is or if she isn't.
Hang on, I can answer that. Pirate confirmed that all innkeepers and adjacent classes, similar classes, whatever, have the ability to hand out quests. They didn't say anything else beyond that. Just that they have the ability to hand out quests. Now because of Aaron. Okay.
Right, but so one thing with that too is then we don't know how it's going to look yet. And I have watched some of the streams, so I'm saying some of this still with like phrasing in ways that, you know, doesn't do it. But yes, I watched the stream too, but we don't know how that works yet.
It's not a stream thing. The assistant confirmed it like a while back.
Oh, awesome. But yeah, just to continue that thought, was saying that, you know, other people may not know how the quest system works. So there may be fake quests being given, or the guild may style its like quests, or it may become like a mimetic type thing where suddenly everyone's phrasing everything in terms of quests because it's this new thing. It's popular. And so we may see Erin dealing with the social ramifications of this whole new thing that she has now introduced, and this putting people in danger, not just because of legendary quests, but because of the lack of information and the way it works, being out there and putting people at risk who may think they're taking a quest when in fact they're not technically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And quest is totally going to become slang, and she's going to hate every second of it. Gray has a comment.
Right. So you're talking about how she's going to have to limit quests and to help people's skill levels, and how people are going to try to push to do quests that are beyond what they're capable of. And I'm thinking back to like the volume 2 or 3, I think, where she hired Marin and Thafray, and she's just like not capable of firing them or properly reprimanding them or dealing with them in any way. And like a serious character flaw of hers is that she is not capable of saying no to someone when she likes them. She's just a people pleaser. Normally, that's her best trait, and she's delegating to Lionette to get around that and navigate the workplace. But now she's just not going to be able to avoid that. She's gonna have to say to her friends, "No, you are not capable of this," and that's like the hardest thing for her.
So do you think Erin is going to get over that this volume? Is she going to take more responsibility? Or you can comment if you want. If not, that's okay.
Yeah, you can go respond, Greg. That was the whole point.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Kind of character development I've been waiting for a long time for her. Like,
You know someone else for the Erin needs to be better club.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I think Erin is probably going to be changed by her experience, and she has a monumental list of things that she is supposed to be accomplishing. So she's going to have to step it up, and I expect we will see some of that this volume. We're going to be moving on to the free hive theories for any Antinium theories. Well, think about your thoughts on that while I catch up on comments.
There was one person who wanted to talk, Tadia,
go
and
ahead.
then
Yeah, just following up on what everyone's been saying about the quest. That did raise the question suddenly in my mind, because in games, most games, how it works is that you do get EXP for actions and doing things regardless of quests. It's just that quests tend to give you a lot more because they're more structured or because they require multiple levels of accomplishment to fully, well, accomplish. In that regard, I do wonder, since the various innkeepers will get the ability to hand out quests, do they need prior knowledge to an extensive degree to give out higher level quests? Because Erin is a very unique situation where she's got a lot of access to information no one else has, but the average innkeeper is really not going to be able to give much unless they have that information in the first place.
We could see that happen. I could see that being the case. I mean, how do you send somebody on a mission that you don't know anything about? Maybe this creates a new job for Sitar. Is that the historian, the writer? Because she could definitely fact check mission objectives. You also had a previous comment that once a quest is accepted, can the questers take on or accept more questers before the quest is finished, which seems broken. They could XP share way too easily then. It comments replying to that maybe each person gets less XP if they do that. Yeah, I would not be surprised if we don't have like a tangible XP system, but people do level. And quests, they've got to provide some type of higher level XP. Dragano is voting for rat hunting quests. Somebody can help Pisces clean out Lascor's sewers. Das says, do you think any other unused or hidden functions get activated at the same time as the quest functions do? What do you think, Das? Do you have thoughts? What's your thought?
boy, I lost track of the thread. I was responding to questions. What you asked,
Okay.
Hilera?
No, it's okay. I was asking Das if he wanted to follow up on the question he left. Which is, do you think any other unused or hidden functions were activated at the same time as the quest functions were?
Well, that's a good thing. I don't think so, because think about it. It would have been very obvious because the system makes everybody know that something is active, right? It hides skills and things because they don't need to know about it. But when Aaron unlocked, quote, you can't see me doing the quotes, unlocked the whole quest system, all the inns, or at least it's implied that all the inns probably know about it, because if they didn't, it would be weird, right? They'd all get skills when they fall asleep. I would think if there were any other hidden functions that involved skills, everybody would find out after they sleep, right? Hopefully we'll know when Volume 9 starts, right? Right?
Hopefully we will know. It could be only if you have the class or something. So, I don't know. We'll find out. We have to find out. Igneel has a comment. I wonder if rule breakers, the classless people, can do quests and if they get awards from them still, or if they can still bypass quest requirements or take advantage of it somehow. Oh,
Ooh,
can you get XP?
that's a good. You can't get XP, but could you get rewards?
I don't know. Depends on who pays out.
Uh,
Depends on who pays out. Igneel, do you have a
That's
theory?
true.
This is
That's
just a
true.
question. Igneel, do you have a theory?
I don't really have a theory. It's just a statement. I don't know.
Okay.
It's an idea.
It's an idea. It's a
Good
really
idea.
cool idea. I
Yeah.
got to think about this one. Yeah.
Good idea. But that is it for quests, guys. We are so behind. We're moving on. Antinium theories. Pawn. Crusader who is still alive. 53 is still alive. The Bariad. Any theories? What do you think? Antinium is going to get all of the pets, according to Petardier. They can just raid the pet stores and fill the hive with cats and dogs. That last bit was my comment, not his.
What? You know what my hope/theory is for the Antinium in this next volume? We get back to Anand and the boat building, because because it's pretty clear to me now in retrospect that Anand is being set up as the explorer of the group, because he's the first of the individuals to like leave home, quote unquote, and go out into the world, and he's the one who's like building boats and going places. So this world, like, if it's all about explorers, who out of the Antinium is an explorer? It's Anand. He's the one out there doing stuff. I think he'll be the one to like lead the Antinium to do exploratory stuff. I hope so. I really want that to happen.
Insert original name here says that in line with that, the pet theory, Fur becomes the Satan of Pawn's religion. Okay, that got dark. Ranaris says Infinity Pair is also an explorer type. Yeah, I mean, Infinity Pair, there's got to be something. We're talking, this seems like a volume for adventuring, right? You got new land, you have all this stuff. Infinity Pair and Rasktooth, they got to go out adventuring. Stady says that he hopes Pair goes to new lands to explore. Yeah, and speaking of new lands, what do you guys think? Do you think the Antinium will want any of that land? I know it's kind of past some cities, but they could probably manage it.
There's also the deal that they put in place in front of the Gnawlish tribes, who are now very greatly weakened, that they would trade land for alliances. And I know they offered their own land, but the Gnawls could now counter-offer, stick the Antinium in the middle of it all, and be like, hey, they're our allies, you can't attack them, and use the Antinium to screen their own tribes while they recover.
Yeah.
It would be a baller move, politically speaking. It would also be fucking terrifying from the Drake perspective. But, you know, it might work. Who knows?
Yeah, well, to dump, the hives are very nicely in one little corner for the most part. To dump them in the middle of all of the walled cities would cause chaos, and I don't know which of the queens might be interested in doing that, but I feel like
Be the free queen, right?
maybe, but she seems pretty happy in Lascore, but
No, it would have to be free queen from the perspective of politics, because the free hive is the only one that kind of seems okay and everybody has experience with. So it would all have to be channeled through the free hive, and it would be Score that would be like involved in all this, which makes it really sticky for the Drakes, the Gnawls to like oppose it, and even the humans. It makes it like, think about how brilliant a 5-head move that would be. Convince Score to send a colony of fucking free hive Antinium out to the new lands.
Okay, so I have a comment that kind of pairs with that from the Google Doc. Cosmic Chaos predicts that the Free Queen completes making a new queen. She succeeds and begins training her. And if she does that, then we could colonize the new lands this volume. That could be cool.
What if the Crimson Soldier's the new queen? Or Bird? Maybe it's Bird. Okay, sorry.
All right, Mr. Wiggles has a comment.
You know, in relation to what Oshi said about how the Gnolls are weakened, it's not just the Gnolls who are weakened a lot. The Drakes lost quite a bit of their armies in this battle too, and they sent some very big armies there. So at this point, the Antinium are like, they're one of many concerns the Drakes and the Gnolls have, even though possibly the Knolls, might not have as much concern about the Antinium. But with that new land there, the Antinium are basically not the only threat to, or not the only immediate threat to Drake's superiority in their lands. So I think this is a very good opportunity for the hives to potentially think about going back to Rehere, or at least sending some people back to Rehere, because they're going to be given a bit of latitude right now. So I think that's kind of my theory going. My theory going right now is that uh, they'll start sending some Antinium back to Rehere.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna get somebody's traveling. Anand. Tardier has a comment. I have to imagine a lot of the raised land has huge pockets of groundwater. It would be perilous for the Antinium to just dig into all willy-nilly. Maybe slowly, but just because the land was raised doesn't mean the land ought to not have unique difficulties to traverse. Yeah, we don't know what it looks like, which I think is why a lot of people are theorizing we are going there this volume in some capacity. We're moving on from that now because we are still on Israel, so we're gonna speed run the rest of Israel. Rags and her tribe theories. I've got a couple on the Google Doc that I will read while everyone thinks about any predictions for Rags this volume. From Tanaz, Rags meets the other great tribes of Israel. The Red Fangs have a moment of shock when they get out Red Fanged by the Kraken Eater goblins, who, from experience, do not seem to be nice people. And that from Kit, there's a reason Red Scar isn't a hobgoblin yet, and he might become a Femerlin once he meets Kraken Eater goblins. Okay, so you think Kit thinks Red Scar might become one of the more powerful goblin evolutions. Cool. Kit says there are no which A theories. Will she accept Rags as chieftain?
Of what?
She's okay with Rags being chieftain, I think, right? They met.
Wait, of what? A chieftain of what? Of the
I think
of her?
as Goblin
Jeez.
Lord. No. Well, do you think
No.
Kit, do you think Rags is going to become a Goblin Lord this volume? Yes, Kit thinks yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go with if Rax becomes a Goblin Lord, I would be very disappointed, especially because the volume's supposed to be chill, and any Goblin Lord's arrival immediately means everybody's gonna go fuck with them. So I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. I want hugs. Can we just have hugs?
Kit wants to talk, Oshi.
Go ahead.
But it's been hinted in the last volume, in volume 8, everybody was like goblin memories are the thing, and Eren has to force Rags to become Goblin King somehow. So I think it's very likely that at least towards the end, Rags starts becoming something like a Goblin King or a Goblin Lord.
Oh, that's sad.
But Tardier says Snapchaw becomes a Barghest. And
Ranaris, I'll take it.
Well, but nobody knows what's going to happen. There is no wrong answer here. Ranaris says, I don't think Rags is going to be on the forefront of the story this volume. You think less Rags, maybe other goblins? A person on Discord says, I mean, Velen the Kind was a healer as a Goblin Lord. Was it as a Goblin Lord or was it as a chieftain?
As a chieftain. He was an alchemist and a healer, like a giving health alchemist, whatever the fuck that means. I forget what the name of the damn class was. Someone mentioned it.
Okay, Mr. Wiggles?
Going back to what Kit was saying, Goblin King, definitely not this volume. Goblin Lord, I could see it. And responding to Ranaris's comment as well, I really hope you're wrong, because Rags has been at the back. She's not been at the forefront of a volume since volume 5, basically. She got some time in volume 7, she got some time in volume 8, but she hasn't been given a huge amount of screen time. So I think it would be great to see her once again and just have her back in the inn for a little bit. It's literally been since the end of volume 2, which, if you've been reading since that time, has been 5 years. It's been 5 years since she's had a real conversation with Aaron. I want to see a real conversation with Aaron. Okay?
So
That's what I want this
is
volume.
Aaron going to Goblin Home or is Rags coming to the inn?
Ray's going to the inn.
Okay.
And Aaron going to Goblin Home. They're going to do both.
Okay, cool. Aaron is traveling. We are all voting for Aaron traveling this volume.
Take that bet. Aaron's not traveling.
Pat says in response to the comment about Red Scar, he's already a hob. He's just small. Petardier. Okay, we're just gonna. Nobody is wrong. There are no wrong answers. We are all theorizing. Ray says Aaron will solve all goblin problems by teaching them democracy. I think that might cause more chaos for goblins, but it could happen, I suppose. All right, we're moving on again because we have a lot of ground to cover. Unseen Empire / Laken theories. Last time we saw them, they were invaded by Sarient lambs. A lot of Sarient lambs.
Hey, Kailera, since after the Israel part, I think we can just wrap up the recording, right?
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna have to. Maybe touch on Ryoka
Okay.
theories. She's another big.
No, just keep it.
Okay.
We'll leave it to just Israel for now. It'll make it more. It'll be better for the recording. Just one thing.
We'll talk about doing another one because Pirate's only doing a couple of chapters before they're going to be working on some other stuff this month. So depending on what's covered, we might be able to do another one on everything else. Okay, so on Unseen Empire from Tanaz, we have the Kraken Eater tribe will attack Inversil to kill Arksinger, or they attack the Unseen Empire while Aaron and Rags are there. So another vote for Aaron traveling to the Unseen Empire, this time with Rags. What is everyone's thoughts? Do you guys think we have not seen the Kraken Eater tribe, really, aside from a couple of goblins that appeared in Inversil in cages, the murderous ones.
They were the nasty ones.
Yeah, the not nice goblins. Do you guys think that they're going to make an appearance? We're obviously seeing more of the hidden tribes of Israel. We saw Witch A and her school in the last volume. Will we meet new tribes? Like powerful tribes, not just... Okay, we have several people typing. If anybody wants to talk, just tag me. Cosmic Chaos says it's been a long time. They're scheduled to attack Inversil eventually. Maybe they forgot. Okay, this is true. It's been at least 5 months. 6 months. How long has it been? I don't know.
I don't remember. But
Winter is coming.
Okay. Yeah, it's been one season.
Yeah.
I think Wiggles suggested using season, so it's been one season.
Yeah, it's been a while. Aaron was dead for at least a few months. So, yeah, maybe they forgot. Maybe they're... Where do they live? We don't know.
We don't know.
Kel says...
They visited the Anuruza, but I don't know.
Yeah. Kel says the Kraken Eater tribe might be sprinting to the new lands to see if there's a Kraken to be eaten. Yeah, sure. You know, I mean, it's probably... I don't know. It's a good place to hide because nobody has been there before. But at the same time, a million adventurers are about to show up. Petardier thinks that the Kraken Eater tribe is actually made of really small goblins. He's talking under 2 feet tall for more aquatic adaptation. Ranarus says we might meet Kraken Eater tribe this volume, but not really counting on a big chance of them doing something big. Okay. So, sounds like maybe a little bit less introduction of new goblins this volume. Seen Empire theories, Laken, are we getting Laken? Are we getting an invasion of Sarient lambs? I think we're going to see Laken, like we talked about earlier. I think Aaron will go. Most likely Aaron will go, since Laken can't travel probably quite as easily. Kel says she would take an invasion of Sarient lambs over Laken. Okay, so Kel is not a Laken fan. Alright, we have some other thoughts. Mr. Wiggles?
My theory is that Laken will become the new favorite character of Kel this volume. Be great. It's going to be a great time with Laken.
That's not the bet. You know the real bet, Mr. Wiggles?
What?
Doreen is going to become the best, most favorite character of this volume.
Oh, I like that. I like it.
That's a bet to make right there.
I think we'll see it. You're right. I can definitely see that happening.
It's all about adventuring. Maybe she goes adventuring. She's a paladin. Where's the paladin in the group? Gotta be a tank. Anyway, maybe she goes with some goblins. I joke, but that could happen.
Doreen could, who knows what she's gonna do. I think she kind of likes just hanging out as a bodyguard, but she needs to be power leveled or something.
She needs to get the stick out of her ass and some soul inside of her.
Oh.
Or some spice, something.
See, I think Doreen's okay. I mean, she's not the most exciting character, but that's fine. You don't have to be.
I want to see a team with a goblin, Doreen, an Antinium, and a bunch of other people. Or just the three of them, and then they go on a quest. Maybe she takes what is the
Infinity
one
Pair?
that got his Infinity Pair and his Tooth, and the three of them go on an adventure? Now, not an adventure, just exploration.
Yeah, there's a lot to. I mean, I expect if we see Lakin, we may see a little bit more treasure hunting because that skill is amazingly useful for finding stuff. And why wouldn't you? It's free. Mr. Wiggles says he agrees he likes Doreen even if she isn't the best character out there. But Tardier has a follow-up on the Kraken Eater tribe. He speculates that the Kraken Eater tribe is just living in giant barnacles on the Kraken, slowly killing them in an almost parasitic lifestyle, so the Kraken is left pretty helpless. That seems more likely than them being super strong goblins, at least. Yeah, we don't know. There are all kinds of crazy things on Inworld. Kit says Doreen is actually a good candidate for the Half-Seekers. Yeah, and, maybe they'll switch. I don't know. Jellicoe might not do that, because Morgan is in Pallas. But, the Griffin Hunt's been working up at the Unseen Empire, and, not out of the question that the Half-Seekers would visit. Igni thinks that Aaron and Doreen just need to meet so that she can get the solstice effect. All right.
The Ryoka effect doesn't work, but maybe the solstice one will.
Okay. 5 families theories, everyone. That is, anything related to Magnolia. If you have Tyrion theories or something like that, you know what? Just stick him in this section. He's on a different continent, but it's fine. Mr. Wiggles?
I told Linu that I would read his theories, and he has one here. So I'm going to read Linu's theory for the 5 families, and he said, amount of accumulated sugar in Magnolia's body is going to cause combustion, leading to spectacular self-explosion, with mortal consequences for her, of course.
Okay, so we have...
Linu's got some great theories, I gotta say. It's a
Y'all need to stop
top-notch theory.
hating. Y'all need to stop hating on my best girl
we
here,
have
okay?
one vote for it.
Magnolia has lived a very long time. She has found many ways to offload her sugar content onto other people.
God. We have one vote for Magnolia dying, like the aunt from Harry Potter, but
Of
worse.
sugar explosions?
Okay. I mean, it's like that scene from Harry Potter. Okay. I feel like, who knows? Ressa might have to die for that to happen. She has to lose that skill. We also have another written theory from Gray. The truth about the Blood Feast Raiders will come out and cause pandemonium, which will lead to the downfall of one of the 5 families. Oh, I like that theory. Because, what's his name? The matchmaker. His son is one of them. I think.
Pelmia
Pelmia,
is his
yes.
name,
I don't remember what the kid's name is, but something with a G. His son is one. If they're all implied to be nobles or powerful people. And yes, if that becomes public and they can't deal with it quietly, I think we could have an Inversil Riot 2.0, but worse. Petardier speculates that we have a secret sixth family that never made it to Israel but will reveal itself as a drowned tribe/family. Okay. Anybody else? We've got Magnolia. Magnolia is going to die. Does anybody think Magnolia is going to do anything different? Oshi, you have an opinion. I know you do.
Come on, I'm trying to do other stuff too. Jesus. Okay. What about the five families and about
Yeah, in
Magnolia?
general.
Honestly, my biggest hope is that Aaron and Magnolia kind of Aaron takes the step to learn what Magnolia really wants, which is her plan, her ability, creating a lasting legacy that of peace, and then she tailors whatever quest or bullshit she has so that Magnolia can get what she wants. Because honestly, their goals aren't opposed; they just have different methods. So I don't see a reason why they couldn't work together, at least for the goals. And now, if Aaron is actually going to become an adult and think about things less about her whether her morals are properly being applied or whether or not the people that she loves and the world that she wants to save is safe, then maybe she could actually do something about that. We'll see where that leads, but whatever. And if Pirate truly chooses to sideline Magnolia again, let's hope not.
Ranaris thinks that's exactly what is going to happen because Magnolia is going to do almost nothing this entire volume. Wiggles has a nope in response to the secret sixth family theory. Petardier says Magnolia is going to die on the inside given all of the Terriarch stuff going on. Yeah, that would be my guess, my theory on half of at least what she's going to be up to for the first half of the volume. She wants to figure out why Terriarch doesn't remember Ressa, what is going on, that's going to be top on her priority list because a rogue dragon is not a good thing to have on your continent, let alone 3. Rhaenyra says, in response to Oshi, that would also take Magnolia actually respecting Aaron's ability. I think she does. When she leaves on the Velastrain after being almost assassinated, she kind of says something about...
She's leaving the North to Aaron
Yeah,
Solstice.
while Aaron is young and inexperienced and still coming into her own, a lot of the nobility that she meets seem to recognize a certain skill level in Aaron, that she gets things
I think
done.
it's the ladies that I think it's all the ladies that do it, including Maviola. They recognize a piece of themselves in the way Erin acts, how she deals with people. They see the potential. And under different circumstances, there is a very good chance Erin would have been asked to become one of the ladies.
Yeah.
I mean, she did get the Banner Lady class and all that, right?
Yes, she did. She did and turned it down. And I think we see a lot of them kind of hanging out at Aaron's Inn sometimes. Bethal's been there once or twice. Pride likes the inn. Aaron may get roped in as part of the gang at some point. Dragano agrees with that and says Maviola already respects Aaron. And Petardier is asking if that was before... yes, that was before Aaron died. Maviola thought that. Does she still feel that way now? Who knows? But I think coming back from the dead is probably fairly impressive. Can't count against you, right? Alright. Let's see. Any other 5 family theories? Well, I'm hoping the Welfar get on that shipbuilding thing. That was at the end of Volume 9. Yes, that was the ghosts. I'm hoping they get on that. I expect Tyrion will make it back to Israel this volume, so I suppose I count that as an Israel theory. And our last couple things, on the Terriarch and Eldavin side of things, I have some comments. If you guys have any Terriarch theories for this volume, post them or tag me, and then we're wrapping it up for this one. From Coldbringer, I have Terriarch fights Eldavin, the Archlord of Wistram, apostle of the goddess of death, midway-ish through the volume, and Terriarch will lose that fight. From Lainu, I have Terriarch is going to play a big role in the upcoming volume, trying to fix Drakes and leading young dragons. Eldavin and Tolv will enter the stage as villains. death to Tarandria and Israel. Everybody dies in Linu's guesses. Theories. Mr. Wiggles.
Yeah, I'll just read off my theory, which was that Eldivan is going to play a background role this volume. He's not going to be the center of attention. He's going to be like trying to get more power for Kawine and Casigna, but he's not going to be doing it at the forefront of the volume for now. I think he'll be more of a storyline in volume 10 plus. So this volume he'll be more in the background.
Okay. We have from Petardier, Terry versus Eldavin for sure at some point. Terry and Eldavin may have a Dragon Heart sort of ending. Is that the movie? Is that a reference to the movie? Yes. Okay. It's a reference to the movie. Dragonos says Eldavin does nothing but helps the main cast for the next volume, making Ryoko even more guilty. Okay, so he's working for the enemy, but he worms his way in to the secret meetings. Stady the Savior says Eldavin kidnaps Magnolia because he now knows he's a dragon and Magnolia is the princess in the story. Okay, I hope he fixes the door. That's what I want Terry to do. I want him to fix Aaron's door so that we can then travel far off lands. I hope that happens in Volume 9. That's my guess. And Mr. Wiggles has a comment.
Well, question actually for you: how far do you want the door to reach?
Oh man. Well, it can make it to. Okay.
It can make it to Inversil right now, and it can't make it to Laken's Village,
Yeah,
basically.
it
So
can
it's
make
like
it.
Inversil Palace.
It can make it for like a second, Laken's Village. I think that there's a couple things at play. Aaron's a magical innkeeper, so some of that is boosting the inn's powers, so the door should extend its reach as she levels up and gets stronger, I would think. But it's also not operating optimally, so I don't know. I feel like if a dragon gets involved, first landing is like not out of the question. And if she cracks level 50, like people were theorizing for Volume 9, if she cracks level 50, we could be talking about a replacement skill. Like if the door is no longer sufficient, she's gotten skills that do things she needs, right? If she needs to travel and the door isn't good enough, she hits level 50, maybe the system will give her something new as a replacement. I don't know. I think that is a possibility. Hit wants the door to go to Manus. Stady the Savior says Fissival would be fun. Yeah, you guys want to see more Drake cities this volume? Do you think that will happen?
Fuck no. I'm busy. I'm busy. There's a new land to go under. There are hot dudes to explore. No, I don't need no drakes. Let's just stick with what we got. All right, we got plenty.
I don't think.
I want to see first. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say I want to see first landing. Damn it.
I want to see first landing. I don't think that Lascore would let Manus have a permanent door at this point. They're probably like last on the list of Drake cities that are allowed to have a door. Teslia might be given one if they can get the reach that far. Tardier says when a quest is completed, they can make a fast travel portal door back to the end, assuming quests would have to be submitted for completion. Yeah, we've seen Numtung do something like that, and I'm surprised we haven't seen maybe like the Horns make more use of that. Buddy with a mage and close ties to the end, be able to carry like a whole pocket of door stones. Just pop them on, jump through, and then they just shatter the stone at the end. It's like an emergency escape. It makes sense. I would like to see that. Igneal says, I want to see first landing and see Aaron meet the highest level innkeeper on the continent. So Salazar, so Ilverse becomes a more common character. Yeah, we need more Ilverse this volume after the way Volume 8 ended. The theories are going to be everywhere. The gossip is rampant. Mr. Wiggle says, a Drake-less volume. We've had less goblins, less Laken. Let's get less Drakes. Kit protests because he wants Rafema. That's fine. That doesn't break the rules. That's more dragon. Anaris says, "Is Aaron getting the door back?" Yeah. The door was last seen in whatever they've named the public square they put it in. So she owns it, and I would like to think that Liscor's council is going to just hand it back because it is personal property, but at the same time, and they mostly seem pretty good, Liscor's council. But we've obviously seen Palas attempt to seize it on it benefits us more than one person can use it, right? So we'll see how that plays out, I suppose. He named the place Teleport Plaza already, according to Tomio. Yeah, so I mean, to be fair, nobody really thought that she'd be coming back probably on the council. But Aaron might have to cause an Aaron incident to get the door back, and I am in full support of that. Okay. I think we're going to wrap up right about here because we're a little over an hour. Okay. An hour and 15. So take any last minute comments, and then depending on the first few chapters of Volume 9, we may come back and cover Tyrandria theories and such. Cosmic Chaos says, I don't think she needs the door with how the garden door works. She just needs to own more properties. Yeah, they need to experiment with that. So you think Aaron should franchise?
Okay, here's the other question I've always wondered. Why are there no inn franchises? Seriously, why haven't we never seen, like, a Red Roof Inn or a Marriott or something?
In
Go ahead.
in the in-world, you
Yes.
mean?
Yeah, and in the world. Like, they
Isn't-
talked about having... What was the thing that the spy from Manus used as a cover for himself? Like, there was this organization that ran carriages between different cities. If they're gonna have those organizations, why couldn't they have like hostels or inns that are like aggregated together as a company? Where is that? Even back in like medieval times, there was like the church ran hostels all over the goddamn place in Europe and in like places like India and China. They also had their own shit where if you had an organized government, you would have like hostels and stuff. Where's that? Where's the
Churches always have
hotels?
something like that because then they can preach to people.
Oh, that's true. But even so, I mean, from a tactical point of view, it's also a good thing for military and governments and stuff like that.
It could be a function of the class too. Like the kind of people that become innkeepers or something. I don't know. It could also very well be that it just hasn't really been thought of as a concept, and integrated into the story. Or it could be that we're at least saving it for now. Aaron is going to invent franchises. Mick Inolds, says Cosmic Chaos.
But we also see situations where like skills don't necessarily, probably, I guess, apply from franchisee to franchisee. Like Erin can use her basic innkeeper skills in both the Wandering Inn and in the Frenzied Hare, but something like reinforced structure probably only applies to the Wandering Inn. And you want to invest your good skills in basically one place rather than spread them around.
Yeah, so there could be system reasons. I don't know. It's a good question. It does seem like people don't travel a whole lot in world. So that could be the other thing too. Franchises tend to benefit when, you travel a lot and you want the same thing in each location. I don't know. We'll find out. But a few people think we might get franchises. It would be an interesting experiment at any rate. Tardier says Aaron should have come back as a Frankensteinian creature. That way we'd have finally gotten a Wandering Inn. Tomio says there is an innkeeper group in Selim. Does that count? It's not quite the same thing, but like they're trying to do their own little version of a guild, and Aaron basically shut that down. but maybe there's a way that you could do that and make Aaron's skill apply without having to buy a bunch of buildings. Petardier says, well, with how a lot of hostels and inns work, they have to first already exist and then get bought up or refranchised after proving they work. Yeah, so there could be economics at play too, where like lords aren't interested in it, and no innkeeper has enough money to acquire a bunch of them.
But I don't know. Okay.
It's probably just that it hasn't
But
come
yeah,
out.
Tyler. I was gonna say wrap
Yeah.
up. Let's just wrap up. We're at 9:30. I count hour and 30 minutes. Go for it. Before Asira comes and kills us both.
Ruining vacation. Tomio says Innkeeper Association is what it was called. Tardier says hotels get sold all the time to bigger chains. Like the Archer hotels that make a new deal every few years and then get a deal with Hilton or so on, and then use the funds to further develop new locations and trained personnel. Yeah, I mean, Earth Inn's franchises are way beyond anything in World.
I mean, Earth has corporations and financial structures to deal with all
Aaron is
that.
never going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. So, stay.
He might be right because Leonette definitely would.
Leonette is going to make herself an economic queen, probably. She's very. I mean, we didn't really talk about her theories. Maybe we'll get to that next time. But I hope she stays. I predict she's staying for at least half the volume at the Wandering Inn. There's going to be a lot that needs doing. Stady says, isn't Aza, that's the Minotaur, trying to help franchise a whole bunch of stuff via the door? They're doing gaming franchises, kind of. I think. Her and Montressa, who may not be involved because she's off with Val Teresa. Yeah. That would be a good solution. I like this idea. They put one of those in the inn. Erin can make people practice not dying before she sends them on quests. And I think that is going to be it for today. I hope that everyone had a fun time at the pre-Volume 9 Inversil discussion and had all kinds of random theories. So if you're listening at the end of Volume 9, I hope you enjoyed seeing just how wrong we were. Thank you for coming, everyone. And we'll see you. The new chapter comes out in just a couple days. And there will be a discussion after that. And we hope to see everyone there.